Hey, what's up turtles? It's Krik here with Black Owl Outdoors. And today I'm going to be doing a video showing and using the sweet little hammock slash camp chair I just recently made. I have it in a stuff sack right in front of me here. I want to talk about sort of how easy it was to make, how cheap it was to make, the ins and outs, and ask some suggestions. But now I'm just going to start and get into it and just show you the ins and outs of the chair. So I have it in this little stuff sack that I just recently made that was scrap material from a friend. I believe it's just some sort of canvas. Really easy to make. Stuff sack didn't cost me anything. I have a piece of just nylon cordage coming out, just some cheap small cordage I have that I kept long for a few reasons. One reason I kept it long was to be able to potentially just sling it over my shoulder and just carry this as is. Don't need to put it in a bag. Don't need to attach it to anything. And the other reason I'll show you once I get the chair up. So this is about the size of the chair. It was a complete rectangle. I have it a little bit bunched up now because of the loop, but I bought this fabric. I'm not even sure exactly what it was. It might have even been a curtain. I bought this at a thrift store, half off day. I think this was $1.50. Not for all of this. I could probably make another one or two of these at this size with the piece of fabric I bought for $1.50. It already had one loop in the end that this piece of paracord is threaded through. And a stitch. I have two stitches that run the length of it to create this, and I have this hemmed right here with two stitches, and I guess it's rolled on itself twice, meaning this isn't, you can see right here this seam that I'm running on, you can see that that's folded back on itself back under this way as opposed to just laying it flat once. I believe that will increase some strength, but I just have two seams running the length of that, two stitches, threaded a piece of paracord through, put a really wonky looking prusik hitch on this right now, but this is basically it. Really easy, really simple. Like I said, all this cost me $1.50 and I can make another one or two. Really cool, really simple. Even if you don't have a sewing machine, you can sew this by hand. Absolutely. It'll take longer and you might have to fuss with actually getting the strength to do it by hand, but nonetheless something you can definitely do. Really cheap and really easy and really cool, and it's comfortable. Now I'm just going to go put it up, set up on the tree, show you some different ways I can sit in it, why I like it, and touch on why I kept the cord really long in the stuff sack. I'm going to use the Marlin spike hitch and a toggle for this today, which you could do as a hammock or would use for a hammock in winter conditions like this because there's not that much knot tying going on. Really don't have to fuss with too much when your hands are cold and you're losing dexterity. I've done a video on the Marlin spike hitch, so you can reference that if you're not familiar with it or want to see it. Prop this up until I get the other side ready. That's all there is to it. All I need is 2 trees for this. Potentially you don't even need 2 trees. You could configure it with some poles, figure out some way, keep the poles balanced, all that stuff. What's nice about this in the wintertime, I can get off the ground, get my butt off the ground. I could even put a wool blanket on this and get it half over me, sort of definitely get more comfortable and stay a little bit warmer. You know, I could have made this out of lighter material. I could have made it out of light ripstop, the stuff sack, all that, if weight was a huge issue for me, but it's really not. It's really fun to make. It was cheap, practically cost me nothing. Cool project to do in the winter while I'm home. I could have used thicker cordage here that isn't going to stretch like this paracord is. But keep in mind, when you're going to use something like this to stretch or hang a hammock or something of this nature. If you have something that's not going to give, and paracord does give and stretch, it's going to affect the comfort. When I use a piece of cordage, nylon, rope, what have you, that doesn't give, it's definitely a different comfort and a different feel when you're actually in the hammock or seat for this instance. And particularly, I like things that are going to have a little bit of give to them and stretch. So that's basically it. Now, there's a couple configurations I can sit in this because it is a small piece of fabric. I can't lay in it like a normal hammock, what have you. But as you can see right now, I'm just sitting, feet on the ground. Could slide back a little bit. Definitely not comfortable, wouldn't stay like this for a while. But there's one thing I wanted to show you that I mentioned earlier. So I can lay in it like this a little bit, lay back on the paracord, nice little lean back. Oh, but you know, it'd be perfect. That. So I'm gonna take my stuff sack with this extra long cordage I have, put it around the toggle. Just do this once just to keep it there in place. Sort of eyeball where I think my feet are gonna be, where I want it. Just trial and error. Just put an overhand knot in here. Make it quick release. Just my feet are going in it. And now I got a footrest. Pretty plush out here in the winter. Pretty plush. And I could fall asleep next to this nearly frozen Krik. I hope this video was helpful. If you got any experience making stuff like this, let me know. Some cool ideas. Things you would have done different. Things you like about what I did, all that. Remember to check out Black Outdoors on Facebook. Check out blackoutdoors.com. Check us out on Instagram. All the photos we're putting up from past and present. This is Krik signing out with Black Outdoors. Later, Tortugas.